Oh, well, hello. Hello, Internet. How are you? He's been busy bossing. uh, you know me too well. How's life, folks? I should probably know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just an idiot. Hey. Hello, how are you? Hi, Damon. Hi, Ash. Hi, Stein. Hi, NK, if you're still here, and Paul Katz, if you're still here too. Yeah, how is everybody? It's still Christmas time, sort of, almost. I mean, we're still kind of in the middle of not, being at work for some of us. Oh, hello, Wapted. How is Italy? Hi, Dr. Blacko. Can't spell good tonight. Nice. Hi, Adan. Hi, Hiccup. How is everybody? You're using a computer? That's new. Where did you get a computer from? Talk for yourself, please. No, never. RJ, hello. You're struggling with laptop pretty bad right now, using onboard graphics because GPU sucks. I'm okay, 720p low and it's overheating. Any suggestions? Probably see if you can get a little bit of compressed air and blow out the fan. That's probably a good thing to do. Otherwise, if you can take the bottom cover off and see if the actual fan is naffed, or if there is serious dust cloggage. Otherwise, if you're able to further disassemble it, then changing the thermal paste, or as Ish says, thermal pasta, is probably a good shout. Library Windows 95 PC? What? No. Using a NAF laptop with its dedicated 950M. Nice, nice. Is there Wi-Fi there? Should I buy a PC now or should I wait? Answer: I have no PC about the way. Well, then it sounds like you need a PC. I feel like that's yeah. But no, I mean, in terms of launches and stuff, as far as I'm aware, there's not that much going on in the world of graphics cards. I believe that Ryzen second generation is something like I think it's meant to be something like March, give or take. I think they say Q1s, but I'm pretty sure that's not launching in. I'm pretty sure that's not launching at CES, so that's probably going to be in the area of February to March, because anything that comes out it maybe get announced at CES, I don't know, but it's not being launched until a little bit later. Jimbo says March, cool. Oh, Wapted, the Wi-Fi is terrible. Oh, you're using next door hotel's Wi-Fi. Nice, nice. Yeah, don't use a carpet as a surface. Yeah. For the banter, NI. You're new to the channel, but I want to say you're a big fan. Awesome, thanks, man. Glad you enjoy the content. Enjoy, kicking about on the live streams. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Happy to help where possible. The fan is so loud, the air is coming out of it. It's hot. Can't even put my hand near it. Ah, right. It's one of those laptops, right? I know them. Yeah. I mean, obviously, like the vast majority of laptop chips are soldered, so you're not going to be able to replace it, most likely. Damon, thinking of upgrading a 2700K to a 1600. Good choice, or wait for Zen 2. So, I mean, are you just gaming? Because you're probably not. It's a bit of a weird one, because obviously with Intel's lineup, the IPC performance isn't that massively improved from the sort of like 2600K days to the even 8700K days. So while you would see a decent performance improvement, and if you're doing other stuff, like if you're streaming as well, or if you're video editing, or even if you're like programming and stuff like that, compiling is much faster on even something like the Ryzen chip. but going from quad core to hex core, I don't know, will be a massive benefit for just gaming. So probably hold out until Ryzen 2nd gen and see where the market kind of sits with that. Liam, my PC be odd, not loading into Windows 10, no display lights on keyboard, but when I take a stick of RAM out, it will start and then shut down the PC, put the same stick of RAM in, took out, and it works. Yeah, PCs are really stupid and weird like that. You'll probably find that there'll be some issue with either the actual socket that the DIMM slot that the RAM DIMMs go into, or you'll have a capacitor that is connected to that RAM slot or something that gets charged when there's no stick in it or whatever, but you need to remove the stick to discharge the capacitor first. Like there's a load of stupid things like that that just like you find that, you know, just turning it off and leaving it for a minute and letting all the capacitors drain and then turning everything back on or putting the CMOS battery back in or whatever and then starting it up again, it's magically all fixed again. So yeah, I don't know, search for that specific motherboard and like RAM issues or like RAM boot issues or something. You might find other people have the same problem, and then you can get some help. New PC needed ASAP, never buy HP. Some of HP's newer, was it Omen X stuff was kind of interesting, like the newer one, so not the one that I reviewed, the 080 or whatever it was. But yeah, some of the newer Omen X's are kind of interesting. Still a bit of a weird spec though, but yeah. Where are we at? Ish. God damn it. Oh, hi, Jonathan. How are you doing with your RGB goodness? Dr. Blacko, the Omen. Yeah, it's not the worst. Like, it's not the worst spec at all. There's certainly some worse ones. It's not the best. I think there's definitely some, if they're using the same cooler, which I think they are, to the one that I reviewed, there's some room for improvement there, but yeah, still cool. Damon, PC work fine, turn off, then when load the PC again it says BIOS boot splash screen, however it's the old BIOS, and only removing it and replacing the battery. Yeah, it's just one of those magical things about computers. Vinyl Nuts, I don't know why I couldn't read that. I'm thinking of getting Corsair 1. Do you think they're worth the money? I haven't had one myself. With a lot of those sort of pre-built PCs, you're generally looking at a premium for the form factor and for the fact that it's pre-built and stuff like that. So if you're okay with paying the premium for that sort of unique size and form factor and stuff like that, and the fact that it's pre-built, if you're okay with paying that premium, then sure, it's probably pretty good. I mean, most of the stuff that Corsair makes, give or take, is pretty decent, especially on the system side, so yeah. Oh yeah, I don't really, so I know how to say your name, but I don't know how to say your username, so I'm gonna go with Stein. He's the one with the blue S, everybody. He's got it's a really interesting issue that I have no idea how to fix, and that is that so he has two monitors. One of them is a DisplayPort monitor, one of them is an HDMI monitor, and he's connected to like a 7850 or something like that, like an Radeon HD 7850 or something along those lines. And basically the issue is the Catalyst or even Radeon settings driver defaults to the H5850. Okay, really old? I said 7850. I thought it was, is that not right? Or is 5850? Either way, a relatively old AMD graphics card, and the issue is that the the driver auto detects the HDMI monitor first or something along those lines. So the audio will always come through the HDMI monitor as opposed to the DisplayPort one, which has better speakers built in. And basically, without unplugging both monitors and then replugging the DisplayPort monitor in first and then plugging in the HDMI monitor, it will auto default to the HDMI one and you can't switch it back. It's not an option in the sound mixer in Windows or in the AMD settings. So yeah, if anyone has any thoughts on that, I think it's just what you call it, like sort of AMD hard coding preference for HDMI audio sources, I would guess, but yeah. Anthony, should I get a GTX 1080 Ti or 1080 SLI? Definitely the Ti, much better. Will work well in all of the games as opposed to the 3 that have SLI support. And should you get a 1440p 144Hz, 1080p 240Hz, or 1080p ultra-wide 144Hz? So personally, of that list, I would go with 1440p 144Hz. That would be my personal preference. If you can stretch to the sort of the 1440p ultra-wide, like 100Hz, that's generally very, very nice. But yeah, that'd be my either 1440p 144, or I don't think you'll benefit from 240Hz, so yeah, or ultra-wide if you want that thing. Use case. Comments. Did I miss anything? Liam, thinking of building new, would you go with mid-tower or full tower? Would be wanted to put an H115i in a single GPU. I mean, with that sort of cooler, you don't get too many mid-towers with 280 mil RAD support, so probably full tower. I mean, generally speaking, with full tower, you get a little bit of a better like airflow situation anyway, and stuff like power supply basements. Yeah, I mean that's a full tower, but it's a decent size. It's the Fantex Enthoo Evolve ATX. The airflow situation isn't perfect on it. The front is a little bit suffocated, as is the top, but it still does a really decent job and has 380 mil support on the top, so yeah. Anthony, is an Oculus Rift worth it? So as someone who doesn't have any VR headsets right now, I wouldn't say that they were worth it. I certainly haven't bought one myself. I think there are a few more games that are coming out that make it pretty interesting, but I still feel like it's a little bit kind of first gen, really. I mean, with the headsets, personally, I've tried them both, Vive and Rift, and I can still very easily see pixels on them. It's definitely one of the issues that I have with those headsets. And there's still quite a lot of development going into games and that sort of stuff that I'd like to see done first before I would put my own money behind it. So personally speaking, no, but if you feel like it's something that you would use and could enjoy, then I don't see why not. And certainly you'd be paying an early adopter's tax in terms of buying a headset that in 6 to 12 months will be an old gen model, but if you fancy it. YouTube Malogical, 1440p at 60Hz or 1080p at 144Hz. I think it depends what GPU you have, because it's much better to play 1080p at not 144Hz than it is to play at 1440p at not 60Hz. So yeah, depends what GPU you have, but generally speaking, for most people, 1440p will be a nicer experience. But if you play more sort of Twitch shooter, if you play CS:GO or COD or even Battlefield and stuff like that, first-person shooter kind of games, even Battlegrounds, then the 144Hz might be a bit more beneficial to you. Personally, I'm 1080p 144Hz, but I want to switch over to the 1440p ultra wide. That's 100Hz that I have sitting in a cupboard not doing anything. Hi Cedric, how are you? Did I miss anything? Maybe yeah, ultra wide displays are nice. I do love a good ultra wide. It's a very different experience, and I kind of like that because even with 1440p and stuff like that, you don't get that much of a different experience. Like with a 4K display, which is what that one is, or even a 1440p display like that one is, you don't get that much of a different experience. It's a little clearer, it's a little sharper, it's a little nicer to look at, but on the whole it's still not that brilliant. And a nice IPS panel, even on 1080p or 1440p, is going to be a more noticeable difference than going from 1440p to 4K kind of thing for most people. Obviously if you do other stuff like creative work, then might be better off, but yeah, with ultra wide you do get a lot more real estate, and you get a lot more of a different experience just because of that different aspect ratio, which I do quite like. You got a PB298Q. That's the like 60Hz IPS ultra wide, right? Could be wrong. What's the best graphics card for folding at home? Yeah, so James, welcome to the chat. Stigbeater, aka Jonathan, is the resident kind of fun troll. I don't know, actually. Folding at home is something that I've heard a lot about, but I haven't looked at that much, so I can't say too much for it. My estimation would be it's similar to mining in the AMD graphics cards would be better for it, just because of their core design and their CU design versus the CUDA core design. But yeah, World Community Grid. What are you talking about? What? What monitor would you buy if you had the money? So if money was no object, I'm guessing. It's tough because I don't know that there is quite the perfect monitor that I would desperately want. I think the thing that I would like the most is a 1440p ultra wide IPS panel that's 100Hz. If that exists, let me know, because I'll contact the company and get one. But yeah. Right. World Community Grid equals Boeing equals folding home. Gotcha. Right. Oh. Hey Daniel. How you doing? How's your wrists? Liam, why isn't my RAM running at 3000 megahertz like it's supposed to? Did you set it to 3000 megahertz? Because if you didn't, then it won't. Wish you could have gone for the ViewSonic 2703GS. All right, yeah, so that's the ViewSonic version of that one. That's the PG279Q, IPS 165Hz 1440p. Very nice. Liam, how do you set it? Go into your BIOS, and you got the Crosshair 6 Hero board, right? If so, just go to the extreme tweakers, or like extreme tweaking page, and then just set RAM 3000 megahertz, set voltage to 1.35 probably, and then it should be good. Do you even BIOS though? I have my Dream/Ideal monitor at Samsung CF791, right? 4040p ultra wide 100Hz. Nice. Is that IPS as well? Or is it like VA or MVA, like the AOC ones? Someone I know got a 1080 for $350 on Amazon. Nice, nice. Crikey, UEFI. I feel old using BIOS. Yeah, you old man. What's your opinion on LG 5K displays? They're kind of cool. I don't know that they're... So the benefit with 4K is that because a lot of content is still 1080p, you end up with obviously that magical kind of 4 pixels to 1. So even when you're watching 1080p videos on a 4K display, it still looks pretty damn nice versus watching 1080p videos on 1440p. There's just a little bit of edge to it, and it's a little bit more difficult to get that kind of smooth experience. So you kind of have the same thing with the 5K displays. I think they're great for Apple users who have like the 5K iMacs and stuff, but like as a second display. But on the PC side of things, I don't know that they're necessarily that, I guess, interesting. Haven't had one though, so you know, I should probably have one before really giving a proper opinion on it. I can't stream this at 144p. Nice. I run my games at 800 by 600 fast as hell with a 1070. Nice. I bet you Minesweeper runs great on that. Liam, have some issues with Windows on my new PC, like when turn it on. I need to boot from Windows Boot Manager in the BIOS. Can you reword that sentence so I can understand it, please, Liam? Thank you. 90X is a good compromise between everything. No one else is going to be perfect. This is the best compromise. Yeah, I mean that's why I really like the AOC. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's a slightly curved MVA 100 Hz 1440p ultra wide. That's the one that I really like. It's the one that's currently sitting in my cupboard doing nothing. But yeah, that's why I like it. And if it could be IPS as well, that'd be just the pièce de résistance. But otherwise, I'll settle. English. I have to go into the boot thing in the BIOS to override the boot and pick Windows Boot Manager. Right, so have you, like, what you're saying is it doesn't save it? Like, it doesn't save that you need to boot from the Windows Boot Manager? If so, I have had that problem sometimes. I should really check if there is a newer version of the BIOS available. It's one of those things that you spend all day updating BIOSes on test systems and stuff, and then you just come down and you just don't want to touch a BIOS ever again until the next day. So like, all the stuff on my, all the stuff on my personal PC is like, all the habits that I tell people not to do, I do, because I do them all day on test PCs and stuff, and I just can't be bothered anymore. If I was spending £2,000 on a PC, where would I put my money? Heavy on the graphics card. I'd probably go for £2,000. Probably looking at. You could do a configuration with a 1080 Ti for that. It'd be a bit stretched, but yeah. See you, Dr. Blacko. Enjoy Planet Coaster. Let me know what that's like. It's from Psyonix, right? But yeah, Liam Roberts, I'd go probably, like, if you can get a 1080 Ti and something like a 1600 or 1700 Ryzen, then yeah, that's kind of where I'd head. I'd go with 16 gigs of RAM and a 256 gig SSD and a 2 terabyte hard drive if you can stretch for it. 600 watt power supply and a decent case. So yeah, that's probably the sort of configuration I go with. Might even just go with a stock cooler to start with, and then, a couple weeks, months down the line, grab a decent air cooler or something, and then drop it on. That'd be my thoughts. Jonathan, I'd put my money in PayPal to pay for the parts. God damn it. Oh no, they're multiplying. did I miss something? Cedric, you got a 75Hz IPS 1080p with FreeSync. Nice, that's awesome. Don't LG do a 144Hz IPS ultra wide at full HD. Full HD, yes, but not at 1440p. And depending on what size that is, because if it's one of the 32, 35-inch ones, I really don't like that at 1080p. Pixel density is just a bit too low, but for the like 25-inch, 27-inch 1080p is okay on ultra wides, but yeah, not at the bigger sizes. ASUS ultra wides are overpriced as hell. A lot of things are, generally. There is a new version of the BIOS theme, at least for me anyway, that I'll install later. And by later, I mean never. Gaming laptop for college or gaming PC and Core 2 Duo laptop? So that was a tough one. Yeah, probably the sort of Core 2 Duo laptop, and then get like a decent, or go with like a better PC, because you will get better value for money gaming PC wise. So you'll be able to get, like, say you were looking at buying a 1070 based laptop, you could pretty easily go for like a 1080 based desktop for the same sort of price. And since you're saying Core 2 Duo laptop, you probably already have that. So yeah, go with the gaming PC and just kind of deal with having to not game on the fly. And also the other thing with the gaming laptops is that unless you're plugged into a wall, you won't be gaming anyway. So, or at least you'll have significantly deteriorated performance and very little battery life. So yeah, is updating the BIOS worth doing? Yes, definitely, especially with Ryzen, because you get so the most recent update is the new Agiza update, the 1071 or 1.0.7.1, which apparently even has support for the new processors that are about to be announced in, I don't know, January, February or something like that. So yeah, like, definitely do it. James, you have a good recommendation for a good standard build to support high-end graphics card, good cooling plus right PSU from the factory using a Dell Precision T. I don't know the build. Do you have a good recommendation for standard build machine to support high-end graphics cards? So, I mean, it depends what you want to do with it. I know you were asking about folding at home and Boink and stuff. So, you're probably looking at if you're not folding on the CPU itself, because why would you? It's hard precision, but yeah, if you're folding on just on the GPU, then even a dual core won't bottleneck it massively. Depends what sort of price you're looking at for the full system. So yeah, I mean, something like even a Ryzen 3 1300 would actually be a really nice shout, or like a 1200, because then you get quad core, no hyperthreading or SMT, but you still do get a pretty decent usage experience. Apparently a couple of people were, well, apparently the entire stream was buffering. Is that YouTube's fault? My fault? What's the deal? Back, apparently. Buffering every few minutes here. Okay, right, so James, TLDR, I spent a lot of time faffing. My explanation was get something like a Ryzen 1200 or 1300X, and that'll be a pretty decent setup. Yeah. Apparently, yeah, YouTube says the stream is good, so it must be YouTube crapping out on server end, because and like OBS says that I've dropped no frames, and what you call it? Yeah, YouTube says that the stream's good, so it must be YouTube's end. So apologize. YouTube isn't the best place for live streaming anyway, but yeah. I didn't say the stream is good. YouTube server issue, yeah. Secret streaming location in Italy. I missed a couple of comments. I don't know that I can say your name. Zabolks. I apologize for butchering your name. You just found the channel. You want to future-proof a 1080p build. What do you recommend? Gigabyte 1080 Turbo 1070/Ti. 60 gig or 8 gig processor, definitely going to be a Ryzen 1600. So if you want to like ultra future proof it, then 16 gigs of RAM and the 1080 is going to be a pretty decent shout. As Wapted nicely points out, future proofing is a kind of a bad word, kind of the evil word of the tech industry, but yeah. God damn it, Stein. Yeah. The higher spec you can go, the longer it lasts you. So yeah, definitely 16 gigs of RAM though, even if you have to step down the graphics card. Actually, even if you do step down the graphics card to the 1070 Ti, it's basically the same card. So yeah, it's fine. It's all good. Space Ghost, hello. How are you? How is San Diego this time of the year? I mean, I'm getting snow here, so are you? Opinion on the new pub map? It's pretty good. It's nice to see some better optimizations. Nice to see vaulting designed into it and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm just not that good at it yet. So yeah, sunny 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. Yeah, that's not what we have here. It's I don't know what time what Fahrenheit is, but it's 0 degrees Celsius. I think it's like 17 degrees Fahrenheit? I don't know. No. I don't know. Anyway, unpronounceable name, I'm an idiot, I'm sorry. When is Volta coming out? I think it's meant to be something like June, like Computex kind of launch. It's not soon. Thanks you found out, thank you. I confirmed the stream is good. Awesome. Nine. It's out Titan V. What? Yeah. Real Volta. Would updating the BIOS help my RAM issue? Well, have you gone and set the RAM to like? It may fix your boot, which got issue, but it won't. Like until you set the RAM to be at 3000 megahertz and 1.3 or 1.35 volts. No, none of that will fix it. It automatically defaults to 2133 until you set it to 3000 megahertz. So go do that first, then update the BIOS, and then do it again because it'll reset the settings. Demonetized. Yeah, last week's stream was demonetized immediately. So yeah, it's rated for it is rated for 3000 megahertz. He's on a Ryzen system, so there is no XMP profile, and a XMP isn't supported on that board. I know because I have that board. We'll only get 2933 on Ryzen. Potentially, yeah, actually. That too. Although 2933 is basically 3000 megahertz anyway, so it's fine. But yeah, set the speed in the BIOS. Well, go update the BIOS, then set the speed in the BIOS, and then, yeah, clearly not rated for Andrew's tongue. Too true. Can I OC RAM above 3000 megahertz on Ryzen? You can certainly try. I don't know that it's rated for it, but give it a shot. You didn't know the board was RG. You spent like 250 quid, if not more, on a motherboard. How did you not know anything about it? Nice jacket, yeah. My Noble Chairs pin and the Cooler Master logo, yeah. Oh dear. Keep buying a new PC until the RAM works at 3000 megahertz. You're gonna go through a lot of PCs. Oh dear. I thought it was just right now. Oh. I'm gonna OC my keyboard this weekend. Like if you'd said mouse, maybe. But keyboard. It's the Asus Crosshair 6 Hero motherboard he has. I have. Oh. YouTube is telling me I have a live stream going on. Thanks, YouTube. You haven't heard of OCing a keyboard, Andy? I've been changing the polling rate, but I don't know about that OC though. Works on the ASRock Taichi and Aorus Gaming K7, 3000 MHz plus RAM on X370. That's over 9,000. Just over 9,000. 20 million. Over 9,000. Only just. Yes, 3,000 or 2933. Right, okay, cool. Apparently, Mr. Brittle would rather reply in the what you call it, Twitter comments, which actually, Wendell, if you are watching, which it's perfectly fine if you aren't, but if you are watching, thank you for the lovely retweets. Yeah, no, I mean, as I mentioned, my internet connection seems to be perfectly fine. YouTube is not complaining that I am in any issue, so yeah, it's just YouTube being an ass. Wendell, woo! Do I use WinRAR? No, I use 7-zip. Lendell wouldn't watch this. True. Eminem's Wendell. You're so weird. Air cooler versus liquid cooler. Generally speaking, most people go for liquid. Generally speaking, air is a little bit better performant, but WWWT. Oh dear. Yeah, generally speaking though, the air coolers might be a little bit more difficult to install, so yeah, kind of personal preference. Tyrone JM, any recommendations on a decent mid case? Most of this year's models are trash in your opinion, and in the market for one currently have an air cooling setup. So yeah, I mean that's kind of a point really. I mean most of the mid-tower cases are certainly in the budget range, and with that kind of with that kind of element, you know, stuff like the Cooler Master Box series, there's kind of mid-towers and they're pretty decent. But yeah. Actually, the Mastercase Pro 5, it's a couple of years old now, but in terms of a mid-tower case, it's pretty awesome. There's a lot of customizability with it. It looks pretty decent, really good at airflow all around. So yeah, I suppose that would be my recommendation, the Mastercase Pro 5, or even the Mastercase non-Pro 5. So Kev wants liquid, but Tyrone wants air. Less to fail on air coolers, yeah, definitely right. And Ish, I must know a different class of people, because most people use water cooling. No, so slight, not Freudian slip, but slight slip of a tongue. Not most people, but modally, you see a lot of people getting AIO liquid coolers as opposed to air coolers on the higher end. Your AIO's contents evaporated? Really? I mean, I've had a Neptune 120XL for like 4 years now, and it's still kicking. Just admitting we're not good enough for your high standards. Yeah, get a better PC first, guys. Leak detected with the Geiger counter. There's more to life than RGB. Did I just say that? Yeah, Jonathan's having a midlife crisis, or a midstream crisis, if you like. Water coolers equals more RGB. The H700i isn't a mid-tower case, so I don't think that necessarily applies. CryoRig H7 on your 7700K, 4.9 gigahertz. Nice. What sort of temperatures are you getting, Space Ghost? YouTube went back to air for silence. Fair play, fair play. Which air cooler did you change to? Super user, what's cool for high-end PC, air for lower spec? Yeah, that's sensible. And Wapted and Steiner are currently debating moral support sponsorship for graphics cards. 83C and EDA 64, nice. That's pretty impressive. Especially on the 7700K and especially with an overclock, that's pretty good, man. Nice. Titan V. Threadripper Air versus AIO. Yeah. Threadripper, she's a hot boy. Thermorite's Legrand Macho with 7 heat pipes and very quiet fan. Nice. Okay, that's cool. That's I remember seeing Thermorite quite a few years ago. Do they still make stuff, or is it like kind of one of those sort of old companies that just kind of quietly stopped existing? They make stuff. Cool. I should get in touch. So I seem to remember the stuff that the last sort of stuff that I made, I saw them making was pretty awesome. So yeah, that'd be cool. Liam got the CryoRig H5 Universal. Nice. That's cool. They copy people's ideas, really? What's I mean, I haven't seen anything recently, so maybe they have, but I don't know. No, Thermorite, not Thermotic. How's the app doing you're showing off last time? I don't know, you have most of it. On par with an Octo D15. Nice, that's impressive. Yeah, Thermotic. So Liam Space Ghost asking, how do you like the CryoRig H5? This chat. You guys. You're fun. Sponsored by Seagate. Not really. I mean, they did give me a couple of hard drives, which is nice, but, you know, they also gave me a more bowl. I also cut my finger, being an idiot. By cut my finger, I mean took a chunk out of it, that's it. But yeah, fun times. Anyone had anything interesting? Oh yeah, I did see someone mention, did anyone get any nice Christmas techie presents? And he's still waiting on the 1080 Ti's. See, the truck fell over. Definitely, yeah. Having cut your finger is still no reason for flipping as the bird, even though you're Scottish. Violent mutilation, sponsored by Seagate. Got a mini sonic screwdriver. Nice. Seems to be broken. Ah, damn. That's a shame. If only it'd work. Seems like you got burnt by checking out the temp of your water-cooled PC. Not quite. Not quite. Most of the tech I have bought was my Casio watch. Nice, nice. Has anyone ever used an M.2 heatsink? Was thinking about getting the EK M.2 heatsink. I have. Depends what M.2 SSD you have though. For something like the Samsung 960 Pro or Evo drives, then it's worth it. If you're going with the SM961s or the 950, well, 950 Pros, but the Evo drives and stuff like that, then you is maybe not that worth it. Should I water cool my CMOS battery? Yes, definitely. Corsair MP500. I don't know what the deal is with those, but yeah. Cool. YouTube just ordered a Ryzen 1600 Celsius for yourself today. Nice. I got a cheap Chinese one off Amazon. What, as in M.2 heatsink or the 1600? Heatsink, right? That makes more sense. Yeah. No, cool. Yeah. And nice on the 1600. What motherboard are you going with? Oh God, Stein. That was so bad that the camera decided to just completely die focus. That was awesome. Newegg had a B250 motherboard for $40 US. Wow, that's impressive. Nice. If you count gifts to yourself, the CF791 and a Xeon build, that is a pretty awesome gift to yourself. Oh yeah, B250. So that would be 1151, right? Yeah, I thought you. Goddamn AMD and they're copying Intel's chipset naming schemes. Yeah, I read that as B350. Yeah. What can I say? You got a blue screen on Christmas. You got the ProTech toolkit. Nice. That's awesome. Andy, do you want me to keep your Bitcoin safe for you? No. No, I got it. It's fine. Between that and a Switch, PC would get way more use. Nice, fair play. You ordered FTTP, should beat 17 down again now. Nice, nice. I downloaded Steam for Christmas. Lego kits for the win. Nice, nice. Oh yeah, your what's it called? Millennium Falcon. Nice, nice. I'm sure his Bitcoin in an old sock under his mattress. There was a story of a guy who was like, in America you can get Chuck E. Cheese tokens, just little sort of gold-looking coins. He sanded off the Chuck E. Cheese logo and then just sharpied the Bitcoin B on it and was selling them for the value of Bitcoins to people like on the street. I don't know how, like. Actually, I do know how people are idiots, but yeah, he made. I think he had over $1 million before he got caught, which is but yeah, that was something that Wendell and Ryan were talking about on Live on Tech's news as well. Brilliant. Bitcoin's like a third of a penny. What's it at now, actually? What's the price looking like? £10,363.67. It's had quite a big dive over the last couple of weeks, but it keeps kind of diving and then going back up and then diving again. I think a lot of people talk about Bitcoin being in a bubble. I would agree with them. The only thing that I would say is that I feel like what looking at a lot of previous bubbles, tech bubbles, .com bubble, the housing market bubble, all of it just disappears. So all the people who are like, oh, Bitcoin's dead, it's like because it's going down by, what was it, like 10% over the last week or so. I think a lot of people are saying, oh look, see, it's gone down by 10%. That means that everyone's wising up to this like scam. It's still worth more than £10,000. That's still quite a lot of money. So yeah. Infinite bubble of life. You have Litecoin and Bytecoin. Nice. New Year's Eve sounds about the right time to pop a bubble. Bitcoin is the biggest bubble, literally bits and thin air. True, true. Wow, not even a cent. Nice, Wouted. Space Ghost, is DDR4 and GPU super expensive over there? DDR4 is pretty expensive right now. GPU's not massively. So slowly coming down in price, depending on which card you're looking at in stock. Full coin. If it hits 10 cents, I has much monies. Nice. Is there, there's nothing that massively interesting that happened, right? I'm waiting for a dip in prices before getting crypto, kicking myself for not investing it in January when I first researched it. Stupid work taking me away and made me put it off. Oh, fair play, man. I mean, you know, if you want to kind of kick that bucket, then I was mining actual Bitcoin in 2013, and I was looking at $8 a coin, thinking, oh god, that's so expensive, I can't afford that. Yeah. But yeah, no, yeah, Stein, I'm still kicking myself. Yeah, I could be living on a yacht. What? Back to cryptocurrencies, I don't know will ever be real currencies. Well, I think the most interesting thing is the Federal Reserve of America is looking at making their own currency. It kind of negates all of the benefits of having a cryptocurrency, but I think they're attempting to make that a thing. And if that's a thing, then you know, once you add support for a cryptocurrency, I'm pretty sure that it's pretty easy to support other cryptocurrencies as well. I mean, it depends what sort of provider a lot of companies go with, and you'll see what I would expect to see is someone like Visa pick up the ability to transact not Bitcoin specifically, but they'll pick up the Fed coin or whatever, or you know the whatever, you know, whatever other country-based cryptocurrencies there are, and then once that happens, it'll be a lot easier for people to accept those sorts of currencies, and then they'll just take a transaction fee for transacting it into the local currency again. I think we're probably many a year away from having cryptocurrencies being a mainstay, but it's certainly interesting. Interesting to look at, certainly. My TX, the Federal Reserve, already have their own currency. It's called the dollar. Yes, they were talking about it as a way to supplement or stimulate the economy without directly injecting cash into the economy. It's kind of something that I cannot claim to properly understand because I haven't spent years researching it, but yeah. Jonathan, it's as real as the gold the Fed has. True. Yeah, the US dropped the Federal Reserve in the 70s with Nixon on it. Bitgold. We should start that right now. That's the new TechteamGB currency of Bitgold. Just get a bit of gold. Quantitative easing, that's the one. That's the term. Yeah. XPnology runs well with DDR3. Nice. Nice. I missed a couple of comments tonight. Why is RAM so high when I bought 26 gigabytes of for $60 the last year? I thought you meant 16. It's mostly because of the actual DRAM chip shortages, and so obviously supply and demand. Get this around the right way. The higher the supply and the lower the demand, the lower the price gets, whereas the lower the supply but higher the demand, then the higher the price gets. I'll leave Stein and Wapted to their conversation. No flame wars, please. That's called capitalism. Yes. Well, free markets and whatnot, but US is running around controlled by a bunch of thieves. Again, I'll leave that to the politics channels. Let's keep this at least somewhat tech related. Stein, we tried that and didn't happen. So how about them PCs, huh? God damn it. Well, I suppose that's probably as good. It's probably a good a time as any to call it a day. Super user, I'm from Scotland, Glasgow. Why would an honest man choose politics when the private market would make them more? Yeah, true. Glasgow. How much are SSDs these days? I actually don't know. I think they were a bit cheaper than when I bought one, but yeah. Down in Suffolk, nice. Nice. Blame Brexit for shortage of butt plugs. God damn it. Oh, Jonathan. You're a character. What you? Not from there, no. Lived there for a while. You're even down there in Hampshire. Basingstoke's in Hampshire. Yeah, I lived there for like 10 years. Don't anymore. Much cheaper than 2 years ago, yeah. Not much cheaper than 2 years ago. Fair play. Basingstoke's just down the road from me. Nice. Whereabouts are you? Sherwood Forest. Ew, Suffolk. All about Norfolk. Oh, the rivalries. Ooh, the EU. No. Oh dear. I'm from up north, like. Whereabouts up north, Jonathan? Not as far up north as Scotland. Travers from Norfolk. Yeah, North Yorkshire, nice. Cool. Well, as I mentioned, that'll do. French got me. God damn it. 256 gig 850 Pro on special for under $100. Nice. I'm from Chocolatistan. Chocolatestan. I feel like if there was an I in there, that'd make more sense. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go play video games. Have a nice evening. I'm not sure about next week's live stream. I may or may not be traveling, but I will see. And I'll let you know probably on Twitter, and obviously you'll get a notification, hopefully from YouTube, that I have set up a live stream if I have. Yeah, cool. Chocolate 10. Yes, I'll look forward to that demonetization as well. Right, cool. I will catch you guys later. Thank you for sticking around, and yeah, potentially see you all next week. See you all in the TechteamGB update tomorrow and the Tech of the Year on Monday. So yeah, cool. Bye, good luck, you'll need it. Yeah, I probably will. Yeah, cool. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you later.